so TEMU is having a moment. Like all of the fashion girlies are in a chokehold over TEMU. So for today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you 5 looks over on TEMU that you can upgrade using Love Notions patterns. So if that's something that you might be interested in, please keep on watching. Hey Stitchers, your girl Kris here. Welcome or welcome back to the channel on social, where it's totally cool to be obsessed with sewing. So you guys, TEMU is breaking the internet. Now, if you have no idea what TEMU is, it is a fast fashion website. And even though I don't tend to shop fast fashion, I have come across a couple of the TEMU looks that I think were really cute. And I thought it would be fun to try and upgrade these looks using Love Notions patterns. Now, the reason I'm using Love Notions patterns is because I am a Love Notions ambassador, and most of the Love Notions site is on a huge discount this week. Now, the sale kicked off on Monday. Today is Wednesday, so happy hump day, you guys. And the sale is a huge 40% off. Now, you're allowed to stack my ambassador code, which at the moment is sewist, and that will give you an additional 10% off your purchase. So if you have come across any Love Notions patterns or you have any of them on your wish list, now is as good a time as ever to grab them up. Now, talking about Love Notions patterns, I am wearing the Melody Dahlman shirt, which was my very first Love Notions make, and the make that gained me my ambassadorship way back in, I think, 2019 or 2020. Now, a couple upsides to Love Notions patterns. Firstly, they are very size inclusive. And when we're doing pattern tests and whatnot, Tammy and Tessa take time to ensure that there are different body types and shapes spanning the pattern test range. So you can be sure that the patterns have been drafted with different body sizes and shapes in mind. The second upside to Love Notions patterns is that they do include 2 different bust cup options. There is a standard cup and then there is a full bust option for those of you who are a little bit more well endowed along the bust line. Now, the third thing about Love Notions patterns is this. They are PDF patterns, but they do have no trim pages. And so for somebody like me that prints off my patterns at home, it vastly reduces the time of putting my pattern pieces together when I do not have to go ahead and trim off those borders. So hooray for Love Notions patterns. So now that that is out of the way, let's get into upgrading our TEMU makes. So I am going to draw for my laptop just because I have all of my notes compiled on my laptop and it would be impossible for me to recollect all of this information. And so if you see me looking down, it's just because I need to go ahead and consult what is before me. Now, when I give my recommendations, I'm not going to point out specific fabrics that you can use for this look. I am well aware that we are different color seasons, or alternatively, just like different colors, different prints, and that sort of thing. And I wanted to leave it up to you guys to choose the perfect pattern that suits your style and your wardrobe. I will perhaps give substrate recommendations, but that's just about it. So the first item I wanted to share with you, and I'll pop it up here on screen, is described as a ruffle layered hem shirt dress, and it retails for $15.69. Now, when I saw this inspiration picture, the Aria shirt and shirt dress immediately came to mind. Now, in order to achieve this recreation, you would need to go ahead and hack the pattern to cut it off at the waistline and then introduce a 3-tiered gathered skirt. Now, in this inspiration picture, from what I can see, the gathers have exposed ruffle tiers. Now, I did recently do a recreation here on the channel using an exposed ruffle tier. So if you did not see that video, I'll go ahead and drop it in right here so that you can go and get all caught up. Now, to do your exposed ruffle, what you have to do is you would have to hem the top of your skirt tier and gather it, and then you will attach it wrong side of the ruffle tier to the right side of your shirt dress. And that is how you get your exposed ruffle look. Now, you will have to create 3 different tiers, and you might want to consider using the width of fabric for your first tier, 1.5 times the width of fabric for your second tier, and perhaps 2 times your width of fabric for your third tier. Again, this will depend on your size and how much of a gathered effect you want on your dress. Now, if you wanted it to be fuller and more gathered, then obviously you would just increase the width of the fabric used per tier. You can also play around with the length. If you find the length in the inspiration picture to be too short, then you can always lengthen each tier, but you want to try and do it as proportionately as possible. Now, in terms of fabric recommendations, if I were making this dress, I would probably use something like an Ankara or maybe even a cotton poplin, because I think those fabrics hold structure quite well. And I think I would want to have a little bit of structure for my shirt dress. Now, the second inspiration picture that I want to share is a batwing sleeve solid shirt. And you guys, this is almost a dead ringer for the Vivace Dolman shirt. Now, on the website, the inspiration top retails for $8.09. And you guys, oh my goodness, whew, $8.09 for a whole shirt. No, you guys, I have been sewing for 6 years and I know what fabrics cost and I know what electricity costs and the time it takes to put these garments together. So $8.09, I can only imagine what kind of conditions these outfits are made under. My goodness. Anyway, I digress. So as I said, I think that this inspiration picture is a dead ringer for the Vivace Dolman, but you will have to hack it just to go ahead and include a collar. Now, I would recommend using the collar from the Aria shirt dress that I just spoke about in my last inspiration picture. Other than that, you guys, Vivace Dolman, dead ringer for this inspiration picture. Now, if I were to make this top, then I would probably use something like a rayon. From what I can see, it sort of flows away off the bust line and there's not much shaping in terms of like bust dats and so you'd want to use something that has lots of drape, and I think a rayon will be perfect for this recreation. Now, the third item I wanted to share with you is described as a floral print crew neck dress, and I'll pop the picture in right here so that you can see. And when I saw this one, what came to mind was the cadence dress. Now, I have made the cadence dress before. In fact, I have hacked it twice before, and I really loved how both of those hacks turned out. Now, for this recreation, you won't have to do much hacking to this dress. The cadence dress does have different length options and different sleeve options. So for this recreation, you would want to go with the longest length cadence dress, and you'll also want to use the elbow length sleeve, but omit the additional flounce because this dress has no flounce at the sleeve, but you do want to have a longer line sleeve. And so I would use the elbow length sleeve and again, omit the flounce. Now, I would also omit the drawstring that is included in the cadence dress because this inspiration picture has a very loose and floaty silhouette, and so no waistline definition. Now, if I were to make this dress, I would probably go ahead and use something like a linen rayon blend. I recently used this substrate when I made my Butterick 5030, and I was so impressed with this fabric substrate. It has good substance to it, you guys, but it still has so much drape included. And I think that that type of fabric would be perfect for this recreation. Now, in case I didn't say, this dress retails for $11.98 over on TEMU. Now, the fourth inspiration picture I wanted to share with you, I'll pop it in right here, is described as a striped print simple dress. Now, this dress, in my view, can be recreated using the Aurora tunic and dress. Now, you would have to go ahead and hack this pattern to play around with the length. So for the bodice portion, you would need to hack your bodice so that it cuts across your bust, and then raise your skirt portion so it's then attached to your bust area. Aside from that length variation, I think that the Aurora dress would be perfect for this recreation. Now, the Aurora tunic is designed with knit fabrics in mind, and to be honest, your girl does not have a lot of experience with knit fabrics. So even though I have been sewing for 6 years, I have stuck mostly to woven substrates, and so I feel like a beginner when it comes to knits. And so for that reason, I'm not going to give a fabric recommendation for this one, but Love Notions does include fabric recommendations in their instructions. So if you go ahead and snatch up the Aurora dress and tunic pattern, you can take comfort in knowing that Tessa and Tammy have set out for you amazing fabric recommendations for this dress. Now, in case I didn't mention it, this dress on the site retails for $9.48. Now, the last look I wanted to share with you is described as a tie-dye cutout loose jumpsuit. You guys, when I saw this one, I thought it was hella cute. But your girl does not make rompers, jumpsuits, or trousers. And that is because to date, I have had hells trying to get a pair of trousers to fit my body shape correctly. I swear, you guys, trousers are my nemesis. I don't know if it's this low butt situation, this big belly situation, this thunder thigh situation, or this knock knee situation. but I have just not been able to get a grip on trouser fitting. And so for that reason, I probably myself would not make this pattern, but I'm sure lots of you out there would grab at the opportunity to recreate this Temu look. Now, on the website, this jumpsuit retails for $10.79. Now, when I saw it, I immediately thought of the ladies' Sunday romper. Now, the ladies' Sunday romper has many different variations. There is a view that has a dolman sleeve, and then there is a view with a tank bodice. And you will use the tank bodice to recreate this look. You will have to hack the pattern to include a piece of fabric around your bicep to mimic this cold shoulder look. You would also go ahead and omit the drawstring casing at the waistline because the inspiration picture has quite a flowy and loose silhouette, no waistline definition. Now, I would recreate this look using the tank bodice with a full length pant, and I think that you will be well on your way to recreating the inspiration picture. Now, again, this is designed with knit fabrics in mind, and so Tammy and Tessa would have stipulated in the instructions your suggested fabrics. So go ahead and look at those fabric recommendations before you snatch up any fabric for this make. In case I forgot to mention it, this romper retails for $10.79, but we are on a mission to upgrade these Temu looks. All right, you guys, so those were the 5 Temu inspiration pictures I wanted to share with you and the corresponding Love Notions patterns that you can use to recreate these looks. I thought that this was a fun video, and if you enjoyed it as well, be sure to go ahead and give me a thumbs up, and be sure to drop me a comment down below and let me know whether you'll be interested in recreating any of these looks. Now, if you have made it this far in the video, please be sure to go ahead and hit that subscribe button and turn your notifications on so you never miss any of my upcoming videos. Remember that the site-wide sale kicked off back on Monday, which was the 29th of April, and it does run until the 3rd of May. So if you want to go ahead and snatch up any of the patterns that I mentioned in this video or any Love Notions pattern at all, then now would be a great time. 40% off plus an additional 10% if you use my ambassador code sewist. If you use my code, it costs you absolutely nothing extra, but I do gain a small commission which helps in running this channel. So if you do use my code, thank you, thank you, thank you in advance for helping to contribute to my sewing journey. So that is all I wanted to share with you guys today. And until next time, stay calm, stay cool, stay safe, and keep sewing. Peace.